2004. Another sleepless night produced Saturday, and I went to the field for the game. I suited up, but had become too thin to even think of getting on the field. Tonka was right. I needed to eat. I was now 5'8" and 110 pounds. We had on our new jerseys. They looked nice. Crisp blue mesh with big black numbers outlined in silver. We were excited. There was only a small cacophony of displeasure from the team because the blue was a baby blue. We looked better than Bay State, and our swagger was intimidating. So was number 98 on their team. She was larger than a Chrysler and stood no less than 6'5". Nuge was a reasonable woman. She knew that you cannot have everything just so in this world. Nevertheless, as she lined up at nose guard, she wished that the player across from her had been a shade less formidable. Her opponent had a massive girth and a jungle of curly hair protruding from all regions of her helmet. Upon first sight of number 98, Nuge felt like she had taken on the lion barbering task at the zoo. A pair of jet black eyebrows accented by unfriendly bulging eyes shot hate beams out of the face guard directly onto Nuge. "Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on," was number 98's popular phrase of the moment. Missy's rasping howl was close behind Nuge, since she played middle linebacker, and this incessant request to bring it on evoked a flood of eloquence in Missy. "Are you gonna run a play or not? Don't you have any idea how to fucking play this game? Is there even a ref who can count the seconds on the delay game clock? I should have brought a sandwich. I could have had a picnic. Let's fucking go!" She re-prepared herself for action by tugging on her own face mask and squatting ever so slight in anticipation of delivering her pounce of death. Vicious, playing left end, heard her and began to get riled too. Bay State was clearly trying to draw us offside, but so far it was not working. I held my breath because at any moment one of the Sharks would detonate, exploding over the line of scrimmage, giving them a first down. This would keep their drive going with plenty of time left to score, and we wanted the ball back, and we wanted no one to score on us. God forbid anyone score. So those of us on the sideline could only pray the Sharks would remain intact until after the ball had been snapped. They did, and Vicious, on the verge of being offsides, got a half-second start on the tackle and threw her down like an air-filled punching dummy. Sack number 9 took place, and Vicious chewed the remains of her kill, while Missy rushed up to deliver the final assault. "Here's a quarter, call your mother." She flicked an imaginary coin to the flattened Boston QB. Was her parting grunt, and chest puff, she strutted away. 4th down for Bay State. After they punted, we ran out the clock, and the game ended with a score of a lot to little. The coach had run up the score without much trouble. We had done our obligatory hand-slapping good game lineup, and I was piling into a cup of coffee while counting the exiting fans. 89, 99. Looks like we had a few hundred today. When I caught the rather large image of Lori Chapadoni, the owner of the Bay State team, rapidly stepping off yards in my direction. "You," she said. I had seen her during the game from the opposite side of the field, but was unable to ascertain the exact color of her eyes. They were effective at boring holes even from 50 yards to separate us, so I guessed that they were dark brown or even a black. I was now in a position to settle a point, as they were less than a foot from my own. I saw that they were a vivid green and constructed of molten fire. "You," she said again. There are really no good answers to the word "you." I did not attempt one. "You have got to do something about that team of yours. They are the most classless bunch of poor sports that I have ever seen. I am going to file a grievance to the league." I begged her not to say that. A foolish question, seeing that she had already said it. "What happened?" I asked. "What happened?" she said. "Yes, what happened?" I said. "What happened?" She repeated, and I wondered, did she not have a hearing problem? "Exactly. Yes, that's what I asked. What happened?" One of your goddamn Sharks tore down our banner. That's what happened." She had mouth... Oh, it's coming back, isn't it? She had mouth offline. She was so worked into a lather. "Then," and I braced myself for the second course. "Then?" I said. "Then," she said, and she paused, her hands trembling. "Yes, then?" I repeated, and I wondered if this hearing issue would not prevent closure. She pointed to the end zone, and when I turned my helmeted head, I saw 6 to 8 of my Sharks hunkered over said sheet-turned banner like lions sharing a fresh gazelle. "They're tearing it up!" She was horrified. "Tearing it up?" I was horrified. Into little bits. We were both horrified, and we stood, mouths gaping and eyes bulging like 2 crazed carp. I'm so sorry, I offered. And she asked, what the hell was it going to be sorry? And for the life of me, I couldn't tell her. I'll go get it back for you. And I began to walk toward the carnivorous herd in the end zone. I don't want it back, she said. What am I going to do with shreds of sheep? Build a giant nest? The fins of the guilty sharks drooped immediately upon my arrival. Everyone present was a rookie, and they knew they had blundered. It was a bet, said Alice. We didn't mean any harm, LG said. She had sheet strings hanging from her mouth where she had bitten at it to make it rip. They said they'd give the person who tore it off the bleachers $20. Who said that? They were silent. Missy nor Val were in sight, but they had to be behind it. I went to the locker room where a group of sharks were discussing the various points which prevented Missy and Val from achieving ideal perfection. It was a word portrait to which I dared not add at that moment. I knew it was going to be a long season. And there you have it. Just a little taste of 2004 season.